Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gents. My name is Alex, and this episode's subject comes in from Bucket the Robot. Do you think that more current films should do practical effects if they could afford it? Hell yeah! Practical effects are so much better than CG. Of course you need CG for things here and there, but the problem with CG is you're really starting to see now in every big blockbuster movie is that there's no restraint. Oh, I can do anything I want on this super duper computer box? Or let's have a building fall down and then a helter-skelter appear and then crash across the screen, and then a dinosaur comes in and it smashes through the glass, and then there's an explosion, and then motorbikes fling out, and then it transforms into a robot and then crushes the floor, and then a pterodactyl explodes and turns into a monster, and then aliens come down and steal it and go into space, and then Superman and Batman come crashing down from a meteor because they'd been fighting earlier on, and then the bad guy uses his super gravity gun to pull the Earth in half, and then from the inside of Earth a dragon is revealed, and the big space dragon's going around smashing up everything, and there are explosions everywhere, and then James Cameron is like, oh my god, what was I saying? Yeah, practical effects. The other day, just for no reason, I watched that movie Fire in the Sky, which is a true story about aliens abducting people, and it was like pre-Jurassic Park. It was like 1993, so there was no CG in it at all, and there's a section of it where it shows the guy in the alien ship after he'd been abducted, like in this weird pod, and he's going through all these creepy hallways, and he gets to the aliens, and they're really cool practical effects which look great and look really real. And I was just thinking, if this was in a modern movie now, it would just be fucking shit. Do you remember when we used to say, oh, the effects were really good, and that was like a positive for the movie? Now every movie has good effects. Every single movie. So now you have to actually use them as a tool to tell a story. Remember George Lucas? Hey, George Lucas, do you remember when you said that? Special effects are just a tool to tell a story. A visual effect without a story is a pretty boring thing. Yeah, it's fucking boring. Relevant to Bucket the Robot's little thumbnail there, he has Chappie as the picture there. And we'll say we want about Neil Blomkamp, but he's an example of how to use CG. He has restraint. He uses it naturally so it fits in, and you forget about it and you think that, you forget after a while that they're CG characters and they just become characters. Whether movies are well written or not, that's another question for another day, but the effects are stellar. When you can just make movies from a computer now, not only do you lose some creativity, but it all just starts to blend into one boring fucking explosion of colour. And the great thing about practical effects is that it does restrain you. You have to work with something that's actually there. There's a reason the original Star Wars movies look much better than the prequels. The prequels look awful now. They look so terrible. The CG is already dated, and because everything in the movie is CG, it looks awful. Whereas some of the compositing and stop motion effects look a bit weird now in the original trilogy, but like Yoda and the trench run and stuff looks amazing, and probably always will. I think the best CG effect that I've seen in a movie, this is really weird, but there's like this bug creature in Ender's Game. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. Spoilers for that hit movie Ender's Game. I don't like that movie at all, it's pretty bad. But there is this part where this weird bug thing comes out, and the CG is pretty flawless on it. It's the most real thing I've ever seen, because with CG you can make like robots and armoured bugs look pretty realistic, but when it comes to like faces and big lasers shooting into the sky, it all starts to just look the same. It's not to say that I'm against CG, I'm just against lazy, boring filmmaking. CG is a great tool to have, and it's perfect for doing things that you couldn't do, like the original Lord of the Rings films. Like something you are restrained in some ways with practical effects, so you do need to have touches of CG in there, but the original Lord of the Rings films are a good example, again, of a nice mix of it. Even Peter Jackson can't help himself, though, because he went a bit CG mad in The Hobbit as well. So that pretty much sums it up. That's practical effects, for me, win every time. I can't wait to see the new Star Wars to see the way they do it, because it looks like a nice blend. Just use it for a reason. Just have things happen for a reason. So what do you think? Do you prefer CG or practical effects? Tell me in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. Make sure you leave suggestions for future child blabs and all the other craziness. I'll see you next time. Bye. He's served, and you have to hit it back and get it in the lines, tennis lines, what are they called?
No, I'm pretty sure what you just said was like an analogy for baseball. Pitch it.
No, I didn't say pitch, I said serve. You serve.
Serve what? Serve
yeah, in
burgers,
tennis you
chips,
serve.
Sammy's kebabs.
What? Who's Sammy?
We know Sammy kebabs, there's nobody else will, but we do.
Who the fuck is Sammy?
You know who Sammy is, because you bought you a fucking kebab.